Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on the YouTube. Dave here in the garage, Area 51. Bomb truck over the back there, covered in dust, probably overspray as well if you watched that last video closely. Last week we got into it with a couple of slappers, got hammered on the roof. Not those kind of slappers and getting hammered, but we were using slappers. Roof. What were you thinking? And the Extend-O-Matic 500C kit. Yeah, so this week I'm gonna do a bit more on the filler side of things, you know, exciting stuff. Like, I don't mind it, but it doesn't make for great like YouTube content, so I'll try to, you know, do something with it, make it palatable. So get into it. Before we go too far in the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, like, share, comment, let us know where you're from, what, you know, any projects that you're working on, you know, something similar. There's a few guys that are doing similar stuff to what I'm doing that are following the channel, so keep it up guys, keep at it, don't lose heart. It can be a bit daunting at times, but yeah, keep on it. Now let's get at it. Okay, straight into it. I didn't film anything actually, I got kind of all excited. Went through and gave everything a good scuff up where I'm going to be doing body filler and stuff like that. The rest of it will get sanded, you know, before it gets the next level of primer. And I've put some new tech in over these welds, and I had a little kind of hole in the factory lead just down here. I've just like squeezed a little bit in there, so just got to wait for that to go off enough that I can start working on it. Shut that drawer. Okay, skim number 1 down. Just got to go and pick the boy up, then I'll come back and this should be ready to scuff down with some 80 grit on the old long boards and the block. I did actually use this one as well on there, and the vacuum side of it makes a huge difference, man. I've got to tell you, like when I forgot to switch the vacuum off, there was like dust just starts piling up. When it's on there, it's significantly better. So swear by the vacuum attachments. The hose is a bit of a hassle, but it is still, it's kind of worth it, you know, just keeping the amount of dust down, you know what I'm saying? Right, better go pick up the young fella. Back soon. Okay, so that's the first skim. A few highs and lows, but it kind of got me roughed into where it needs to be, kind of. But now I'm going to go out quite a bit further and hopefully kind of get closer on number 2 skim. Hopefully it's not like 7. You know, I didn't want to go absolutely crazy and have this thing made of fiberglass or polyester or whatever that is. Might be that way yet. Okay, so second skin on. Gone out quite a bit further on this one because still had a little bit of a kind of drop off there, and you know, just stuff happening, and I thought I'll just try and catch those little ripples down there, and it is what it is. It's kind of, you know, I expected there to be a bit of filler in this rear kind of quarter, or okay, almost rear half of the roof, but we've still got to do up through there. You can see the little shiny bits there, and you know, one little dent there. I've gone around and drawn like circles and pencil around the areas that I want to put some filler across, so I will do a bit of a skim across the top of that. Hopefully that might just get done with like one hit, especially the same with that center piece. It's just enough to kind of take it up enough for my liking that the what do you call it, the high build primer will kind of like knock it down, you know, like fill up the rest. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, but we'll see. we'll see where it gets us. I'll probably like put it on, sand it off, put it on, sand it off like 4 times. It's usually how I roll, but yeah, so just waiting for this to kind of go off a bit. I might just see if I can scrape out that before it goes super hard. I might have missed that boat. Saves me sort of getting in here and sanding. There it goes. Same in here, just kind of shave off these bits that are, you know, I don't really need to spend ages sanding them. They're just like gobby bits of filler that I've gobbied all over the place. Yeah. Oh, I've got to clean that knife. Right, got to clean that knife. Trying to get into the habit of kind of giving my, like, I use this to pull the Bondo out of the tin and my spreaders, trying to get into the habit of kind of giving them all a good wipe down before it goes hard, you know, like with a bit of lacquer thinners on a rag, so they don't end up like that, you know. Not that that affects how they work, it's just it's nicer to work with nicer looking spreaders, you know, or nicer feeling spreaders. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey guys, just checking in. Still here. Just given another skim on definitely had some low stuff going on here, and maybe here and here, and there was some stuff going on up there, and mixed up a bit too much, so I thought I'll just chuck a real sort of thin skim over there, and then I'll run over that when it dries and sort of see what happens, you know, with the longboard and stuff. And yeah, I actually took this down to 180 on the DA. Just I see, you know, people talking about kind of blocking in with your longboard or your, you know, by hand and then finishing with DAs, and I kind of was wondering how that would work, whether I would have the same control maybe, but I tend to, like on the DA, I was like moving quite fast, so not hang around in one spot and dig holes, if you know what I mean. So, but I got to watch that DA, because quite often when you start it up, it goes straight into grinder mode. It doesn't release the dual action part of it. It goes into full spin until you hit something. So yeah, hence some of the little burn throughs when I've sort of started. I'll sort of start on a bit of steel there, not into the bog. So just waiting for this to go off properly. I've kind of just gone through and given it with an old bit of 80 grit, just kind of like a quick kind of wipe over. The thinner stuff takes longer to cure, I've discovered. Just to kind of like take that kind of greasy initial edge and that off it, but yeah, it's still going off slow as, so I'm just watching bog dry. I don't want to go mixing up more and laying it on there, because it might end up too hard by the time I get to it. Alrighty, so dirty, dusty work. Even with the vacuum thing, I did the final kind of sand on the bulk of this with some 320, but I don't have the kind of hook and loop paper, just normal 320, so I'm just using one of my little shorter blocks to kind of hold on to it. She's pretty okay for me. I think I can still feel the odd thing, but I can't kind of quite pinpoint it. Like, is that a high? Might have to get it all into one colour again, but I'll do the whole roof first. I'll get it all into one colour. There's a high spot there, I think. Yeah, but it's on the other side. It's actually, yeah, that's that. Never mind, don't worry about that. Yeah, I'll get it all. What was I even saying? Get it all into one colour. Then I'll probably have a better idea of how straight this is. Most of it, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I ended up putting another skim through here because I did my usual trick and sanded sanded too much out. Saw it was pretty good, and then I saw a little bit of something, and I was like, oh, just give that a bit of a whick. And next thing it was like, a depression again. So this is all good. Most of this will, there's a little bit of something, there. There's a little something here. Actually, it might be a high spot right there. I even got some of the U-pole guide stuff, sprayed that around the place, but you really it kind of didn't tell me much, if you know what I mean. Like, kind of does if you're kind of working an area looking for pinholes in that, but I'm on a big curve with a straight longboard, so whenever I kind of moved around, it was kind of like the edge of it would pick it up and take out that stuff. But I think that's high right there. Either that or it's low, and then I just can't tell. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit sanding right there, and then call this side done for now, and then I'll start the other side. So, can't remember what I was rabbiting on about in the last update, but did a bit more work on here. I did have a high right there. It was kind of like going boop and dropping off. It's a bit more flush feeling now, so I'll still just gonna leave that side until we get some, spot prime the epoxy, and I can have a better look and see if I can see anything when there's some gloss on it. Just got some new tech fiberglass on the welds on here. Didn't come all the way down here because I've already taken it up so far when I was doing that stuff the other week, and gone around and given it all the areas that I'm most likely going to be body working. A bit of a scuff with some 150. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long day getting this far. A lot of sanding, but I'm pretty happy with how it's sitting at the moment. Oh God, I've got to stop touching it. Every time I touch it, I feel something. Just ran my hand up there and found there's a high there, like in the steel. I'm trying to avoid rubbing through it, but I'm just wondering whether I've been spending too much time here and not enough time there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know. I'll leave it. I said I'd leave it. I'm gonna leave it until it's in high build primer, and then we can see. Right, I think I'm gonna take a different approach. While this is curing up, getting dry enough for me to scuff it down, I'm going to mix up some filler and hit that front section there, and maybe that there, and that can be going off while that's running, getting rubbed down. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent a lot of time today watching filler dry, and it seemed really, really unproductive. So it's getting late, but I'll take the risk and chuck a bit on there, especially that thinner stuff, because it seems to take a while to lose its gooiness. I'll chuck a little bit more hardener in it. Hopefully that'll be alright and won't come back to haunt me, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's do it. Okay, just had a thought for you guys that are out there that are following my channel, that are like current or former. Like, I know there definitely is one former kind of career body man. How long would it take you to do like what we've seen here, like half this thing? Like, and is it a day's work farting around? You know, like a kind of casual day, not a hard out, full on like full day. 8 hours and shit. I just question because I get impatient, I get frustrated, and I think, oh, it's taking me too long to get a good job. I'm going over and over, and then I end up digging into it, and then putting more into it, and then, you know, well, we've talked about this before. So I was just wondering, you know, is that like a couple of hours work for a professional, or is that 8 hours work for a professional? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my god. Anyway, let us know down in the comments just what you sort of think. What is a normal, you know, time frame to achieved that, you know, from like scuffing it up to putting some glass down into it. So scuffing that to first skim, second skim, multiple touch-ups, hammering stuff down, finding more things wrong that you missed yesterday and all that kind of stuff. So let us know, what do you reckon? Just a guesstimate, nothing, doesn't have to be accurate. I don't care about what money, what it's worth. I'm not going to be doing this for a job. I'm just curious as to the kind of the pressure I put on myself when I'm doing these things, is how the psychology behind it works. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks. Down in the comments, let us know what you think. Alrighty, so took a different approach this time, and like, you know, like I said before, I put the fiberglass in there, and then while I was waiting for that to cure up, I went and laid down. I actually put quite a heavy, not a heavy, but I kind of went a bit heavier than I did on the other side. Like I kind of just laid it in, whereas over there I just was mincing around doing it super thin. And same with this section here. I kind of marked out, you can see my pencil lines where I'd kind of marked out roughly where I wanted to go. And so while that was kind of curing up, I came back in and roughed in my fiberglass on this side over the welds. And then once I'd done that, dusted it off, mixed up my first skim, laid that in while that was curing up. That was ready to sand. So in total, where it stands now has taken me about an hour and a half as opposed to about 6 hours, because I did lots of light skims. This time I kind of just went, kind of laid it in there a bit heavier than I normally would, I guess, because I keep thinking, you know, build it up sort of thing, but I think maybe I was being too stingy on that first skim, and then, you know, too stingy on the second skim, whereas this time I just kind of knew roughly where I wanted to go, and I just put it down. I mean, basically this is the second skim for the whole roof. Up the front there, I don't need to. I got it first time, which is, you know, when you're good, you're good, and when you're having a fluke, you're having a fluke. It was a fluke, trust me. And so my skim over this side, I was just a bit shallow here and a little bit up here. But on the whole, this is still just finished back in 80. I haven't done any lighter. Up the front there, I've actually done up to 150. So this is still just sitting in 80, and I'm making a real conscious effort to stop early, even when there's little gouges and stuff still in there. Just leave it there. I'll get it with the 150 or the 320 or the next one either I happen to have in the drawer, you know. Whereas I keep, normally my instinct is telling me just sand out that big shallow bit with the 80 grit because it's fast. and then I've gone too far, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, quite a bit, way faster, but yeah, it's getting late. Oh, actually my watch is wrong because daylight saving started. It's nearly 7 o'clock, so I might call it that for today. I'll get down Sunday today, so I'll come down during the week. Hopefully that doesn't go absolutely rock hard, but I'll get in and start, you know, getting this into a more finished sort of state, and hopefully get it back into epoxy primer soon-ish, because as you can tell, it's raining again. Spring humidity and spring regular rain, which is good for making things grow, but everything grows a bit too fast around these neck of the woods. Alright, so till tomorrow maybe, or the next day. Hey guys, a couple of days later, I think it has been a few days. Sanded back that skim that I put on there, and then managed to sand a low spot back into it, so had to reskim it, sand it again. I'm kind of at the point now with this that it's I think I need to put some epoxy back on it and get a better look at it when it's all one colour. There's still a couple of little bits I can feel, can't really sort of see. There's a little thing going on there, can't tell. I knocked it down with a dolly hammer, but I'm not sure whether I've made a dent or whether it's still a high spot. So I'm going to put some epoxy on the roof, seal it all back up. I've just been round and we'll seal it all back up so it doesn't flash and shit like that, and then I'll be able to get a better look at kind of how straight it is. Well, curvy it is, but curvy in the right places, you know what I'm saying? So I've just got to finish dusting this off, mix up a bit of primer, and what's going on there, and squirt some on there. Alrighty, so that's the second coat down. I went round and kind of laid into a couple of the other areas a little heavier, that I know that there's, you know, sanding scratches and crap like that, and a couple of wee little whoop-de-woos. still kind of hard to see how kind of good of a job I've done, because I'm getting like, you know, different lights and that from the dry areas where I didn't really bother kind of laying too much in. I thinned that second coat down a little bit more again, just to get it to spray a little bit less stipply, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a few, definitely there were sanding scratches in that there. I don't know how I missed that when I was kind of going over it with the old 320, but yeah, it must have just been a little bit far away, so I didn't put as much effort into it. But I was more concerned trying to find little low spots and high spots and things like that. But yeah, we'll leave that to dry off, see what it looks like tomorrow, and but that's where I'm going to leave that roof for now, until I, you know, do my high build primer and then start really looking for pinholes and stuff like that. I like to seal it up again with epoxy, just because it might be a while before I kind of get to that stage, because I've still got a lot of, you know, other areas to complete. I haven't even touched the hood and the front fenders and all the inner fenders and stuff like that yet. So they're gonna, you know, it's gonna be sitting like this for a while again now. So I just like to seal it up. In the past I've always used that DP40 when that was still around. Still got a little bit of it in the back room there, but that was real thin, so it went down like super flat, and you saw all your floors pretty much immediately, like sanding marks and shit like that. This stuff here goes down a bit thicker, so it does have some filling properties, but not like a high build or a polyester or whatever you want to call it. But it does kind of fill up stuff to a degree. So when we come to prep this for primer, we'll probably go over it with, I don't know, 320 again maybe, and sort of flatten it all down, take all my nibs and crap like that out of it, and then start, you know, hopefully you can probably see them in the light. There's a thing there, I don't know what that was. It's probably me where I sanded so far and then come the other side, and there's probably a little mountain ridge right up the center, but you can see those sanding marks there from the, it was probably from the 150, maybe 80 grit. Yeah, but they'll all hopefully all sand out. Guaranteed we'll have sanding marks in this by the time I'm finished with it. Even in the finished coats, I always miss stuff, but that's why I don't do it for other people, like professionally and stuff. I can just screw up my own stuff. Yep, so right, we'll leave it till tomorrow, and then or maybe on the weekend. Gotta go help my daughter move house on the weekend, so probably won't get much done on the car, because I'll be like using the bomb truck as a working truck, hopefully, weather permitting. And yeah, might get a little bit something done on here. Not sure what I'm going to do next though, but yeah, anyway, till tomorrow. It's enough jibber jabber. Hey guys, okay, so next day, there's a bug in there. I've had a bit of crap coming out in the spray gun. That's all cured off now. Now there's plenty of crap in the paint, but that's all good. That's all going to get sanded off. Can see a few, you know, sanding marks and that through there, and there's still a little high spot there. But on the whole, I'm pretty happy with how these areas have smoothed out. A few little things to fix up and fill up. I'm going to seam seal all the way up that drip rail as well. It had factory seam sealer in it, and it's all going to come out and been scraped down that over the years or whatever. So that's all good. We'll do that closer to the painting time, I think. But yeah, so on the whole, that's kind of where my roof is at. This was a bit drier up the front here. It was the first coat. I sort of went whoosh, and it just went real dry, so it's a bit rougher up there. But yeah, you can see all my kind of tide marks and stuff from where all the filler is and steel is and smoother bits are and rougher bits are. Funny, these joints here are actually joints from different applications of filler, I think. That's quite interesting. There's a couple, a little low spot around about there, but that's all right. But anyway, that's, I'll keep getting distracted looking at it. There we have it. Oh well guys, that's where we're going to leave this video on body filling the roof on the Area 51 project. No clowning around really this week, you know, with Extend-O-Matic 500Cs and stuff like that. But there it is. You can see all my tide marks and stuff from the body filler and things, and that's fine. It's all going to get sanded and flushed out and stuff like that in the future, and you know, get more of a primer surfacer or a high build primer or something's going to go down on top of that, hopefully soak up a lot of those scratches and things like that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. That would be awesome. See, thumbs up, and hit the notifications bell if you want to get notified on when the videos are coming up and things like that. We're on Facebook and Instagram. You know, if you want to jump on there and have a look, occasionally I'll post different stuff that isn't just a kind of a push for a new video coming up, you know. Hopefully in the, you know, as we get through some of the more boring content, like it's pretty hard to make a good video on sanding bog and putting bog on and sanding it off and putting it on and sanding it off. So I'll try to kind of either make it worthwhile watching or informative or funny, or I'll try to do something with it to make it not just a, you know, 3-hour time lapse of me sanding bog on the car. I know you guys are keen to see the progress and stuff, but you know, some of that you don't need to live it with me. Trust me, it's pretty dull. But yeah, anyway, enough jibber jabber. Till next time, take it easy and peace.